Namaste friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Lifted Lotus Yoga. My name is Lacey and I'm so happy to have you here with me. For today's Vinyasa practice, I have planned a slow flow where we'll be repeating an affirmation to ourselves. This affirmation will remind us to love and listen. There are no props necessary, so go ahead and roll out your mat and meet me in the middle of it whenever you're ready. Once you have yourself set up in the middle of your mat, cross whichever leg in front of the other and let your hands rest upon your lap, palms up or palms down. Settle down through your sit bones, draw the belly button gently in to support your spine, lengthen the crown of the head tall towards the sky, and close your eyes. Begin to draw your energy inwards, pulling your focus into the body. My favorite affirmation to do this is one that I learned from Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's very simple. Inhale, I am in my body. Exhale, I smile. Repeat that 3 times. Inhale, I am in my body. Exhale, I smile. Inhale, I am in my body. Exhale, I smile. Inhale, I am in my body. Exhale, I smile. Now start to notice how you feel in your body. What your energy level is, where your mood's at. Maybe do a body scan and notice any places in your body that might need you during your practice today. And do all this noticing without any sort of judgment or criticism of you. Do this noticing with compassion, love, the intent to listen and understand. And let's deepen our presence by initiating our breath. Exhale everything through your nose right now. And then through your nose, inhale, fill up as full as you can. Filling up through the belly and the ribs. When you feel nice and full, open your mouth and let out a big ah. Do that again, inhale. Getting as full as you can. And then a big open mouth exhale. One more all on your own. Now release any control you have over your breath and let it return back to an unconditioned state. Notice what your breath feels like here. I love using affirmations as they are a way of keeping us grounded and reminding us of what's important. I'd like you to repeat one after me. I'd like you to repeat it 5 times. And after you're done repeating it, I want you to notice how you feel. It's a very simple affirmation. This affirmation is, I love you. I am listening. I love you. I am listening. I love you. I am listening. Repeat that 5 more times to yourself. Once you're done repeating it to yourself, just simply notice how you feel. We'll come back to that affirmation often through our practice today. And I want us to really live it while we're on our mats together. Truly love yourself and listen to your body as we move. Let this be your intention for your practice today. And to seal that intention in, with your next inhale, circle, sweep up your arms, reach them tall towards the sky, and let the palms meet above you. With your exhale, pull your palms into your heart center, bow your chin towards your chest. Repeat your affirmation one more time. I love you. I am listening. Take an inhale, seal it in. Let that exhale bring that smile to your face. Flutter open your eyes. Release your hands down onto your lap, and I'm going to simply turn so you can see me from the side. Still facing the top of your mat, with your next inhale, circle, sweep your arms tall towards the sky. As you exhale, bring your hands around behind you and interlace your fingers. Pull the palms together as close as you can, letting it broaden the heart. Keep your spine nice and straight, and with your next inhale, pull the hands away from the lower body. As you exhale, bring your fists over to the left hip. Draw the elbows towards each other, really opening up the heart, spreading the collarbones. You should feel a pretty deep stretch through the right shoulder. You can choose to stay right here where you are, or with your next inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head ever so slightly. And as you exhale, draw the left ear towards the left shoulder. Feel this deep in the stretch all the way into the right side of the neck. Take another 2 breaths. Next, exhale, release the fists behind you, bring the crown of the head towards the sky. And with your next inhale, release the hands and reach them all the way up. As you exhale, grab opposite elbows overhead, making a box over the top of your head. Feel how this broadens out the upper back. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, gently tilt over to the left, feeling a deep stretch through the right side of the body. Feeling it through the right underarm. Keep your gaze forward, ears in line with your biceps. One more breath. Inhale back to center. Reach both hands nice and high. And as you exhale, bring the hands around behind you again and interlace them, but with a counterintuitive interlacing, so opposite set of fingers on top. It'll feel a little funny. Broaden the heart as you pull the knuckles towards the earth. Take an inhale, pull the hands away from the small of your back, and as you exhale, bring the fists over to the right hip. Treating this side with the same amount of respect, draw the elbows towards each other. Choose to stay if you did on the other side, or exhale that right ear towards the right shoulder. Got about 3 or 4 more rounds of breath here. Last 2. Exhale, head to center, hands behind you. Next, inhale, release the hands and circle, sweep up those arms. As you exhale, grab opposite elbows, broadening out the upper back, keeping that shoulder, the biceps in line with the ears. Take another inhale, and as you exhale, slowly start to tilt to the right. Stretching out the left side of the body this time. Keep both the sit bones rooted to the earth. Take 2 more breaths. Inhale brings yourself to center. Reach both hands nice and high, and as you exhale, release the hands next to the hips. Go ahead and roll out the shoulders a few times. Nice work. Roll over the tops of the legs and make your way into a tabletop pose, finding yourself into an all-fours position. Bring the wrists below the shoulders and the knees below the hips. Make sure the feet are straight out behind you, and then I'd like you to curl your toes under. As you curl your toes under, press into your palms and slowly push the sit bones back onto the heels. Maybe not all the way, but enough to where you feel a deep stretch through the toes. Take another couple breaths. Nice work. Inhale, come back to center. You can choose to keep the toes curled under or uncurl them. You decide what's best for you. And then we're going to find some cat-cow. So with your next inhale, sway the belly down, gaze and hip rise up for your cow pose. Exhale, round the back up towards the sky, chin and hips tuck in for your cat pose. Inhale, sway down into your cow, press your heart through the gate of your arms. And exhale, round into your cat as you draw your belly button deeply in. Do it one more time. Inhale into your cow. And exhale into your cat. Inhale slowly comes into center. Bring the toes to touch behind you and slowly set yourself back into a child's pose. Forehead to the mat. Take about 3 rounds of breath. Taking one more round of breath. With your next inhale, roll yourself back into a tabletop pose. Curl your toes under and exhale, downward facing dog. Make sure your feet are about hip width distance apart. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Roll your shoulders out slightly and maybe even turn your fingers towards the top corners of your mat. Feeling yourself make that upside down V shape with your body, your heels don't have to touch and you can have a slight bend in your knees. But really lengthen the tailbone tall towards the sky. Maybe loosen the neck by shaking the head no and gently nodding yes. Nice work. Now notice how you feel in your downward facing dog. Maybe pedal your feet a little bit. Maybe sway the hips side to side a little. Just getting to know what you feel like in this pose. Close your eyes perhaps and draw inwards. Notice what your body's saying. Listen to what your body says. Nice work. Flutter open your eyes if they aren't already. Lift your heels high up off the mat, coming onto your tippy toes, and start to walk yourself towards the top of your mat on those tippy toes. When you find the top of your mat, make sure your feet are hip width distance apart and fold in your Uttanasana, forward fold. With your next inhale, come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Draw your belly button in towards your spine, take your gaze towards the top of your mat, and exhale, fold forward. Now let your hands hang heavy, arms heavy too. Tuck your chin into your chest, pull the belly button in towards the spine. Slight bend in your knees, and then slowly start to roll yourself up. This can take several rounds of breath. Let it be nice and slow.
Keep your core engaged as you roll up through the small of your back, the middle of your back, your upper back,
all the way up until you lift your chin to the sky, you broaden out your heart, you spread out your palms, take a big inhale, and an exhale to find yourself center into your mountain pose, Tadasana. Fluttering, open your eyes, get yourself anatomically correct, so make sure all 10 toes are facing the top of your mat. Your feet are about hip width distance apart. You're pressing through all 4 corners of the feet. Turn your palms open forward, ready to receive. Draw your shoulders down and away from your ears and slightly roll them back so it opens the heart. Slight tuck of the tailbone, pull the belly button in and lengthen the crown up so you get a nice straight spine. Take a big inhale and an open mouth exhale. And repeat your mantra, your affirmation. I love you. I am listening. With your next inhale, circle, sweep up, reach tall. As you exhale, bring the right hand down to the right side and tilt to the right. Inhale up to center, slide your right hand onto your right hip, and then slide it to the small of your back. With your next inhale, lengthen up through the left side of your body, and as you exhale, gently press back into a back bend. Supporting yourself through the right side, only go about 30 to 40% of your full capacity. With your next inhale, come back to center. Reach both hands nice and high, and as you exhale, swan dive forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, plant your hands on the mat and step your left foot back behind you, coming into Anjaneyasana, low lunge on the right side. Make sure your feet are on rails or about hip width distance apart, and then drop down onto your left knee. Keep your left toes curled under. Make sure your right knee is over your right ankle, and then bring your hands to the top of that right knee. Take your time to get yourself strong in the posture. So draw the belly button in, slightly settle into the hips. Slide your right hand onto your right hip. With your next inhale, circle that left arm up tall towards the sky. And as you exhale, slowly start to tilt towards the right. Roll that left shoulder back just slightly to really open up the heart. And inhale, come back to center. Slide your right hand onto the small of your back. And as you exhale, slowly tilt back, only as far as feels good to you. Once you've found that depth, stay there, or maybe lift the left toes off of the mat. Just ever so slightly. They don't have to lift that high, just enough to where you feel a good stretch through that left quadricep. Release the left toes back to the mat. Inhale yourself to center. Reach both hands nice and high. And as you exhale, bring both hands down to the mat to either side of the right foot. With your next inhale, lift the left knee off of the mat. We're coming into Virabhadrasana 2. I'd like you to spin that left foot down onto the mat to where it's parallel with the back of the mat. Find your right heel lined up with your left arch. And with your next inhale, cartwheel the arms up and open into your Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Check in with your feet first, starting with your foundation. Make sure that you're pressing through the pinky edge of your left foot. And that you're pressing through the right big toe, and you can see that right big toe. If you can't see it, shift that right knee over to the right long edge of your mat. Now, long and strong through the arms, belly button is pulled in, core is nice and engaged. Feel strong in your Virabhadrasana 2. One more breath. Next inhale, start to reach forward, flip your right palm to the sky, and as you exhale, come into a reverse warrior. Now invite your left arm behind your back for a half bind. Stay for one more breath. Stay low in the lunge on that right knee. And with your next exhale, keep your left hand behind your back as you bring your right elbow onto your right knee. So left hand is still in that half bind. Turn that left shoulder towards the sky. Maybe the chin lifts to the sky as well. And then energetically press through that right elbow. You can choose to stay right here if you'd like, or start to extend the right fingertips towards the inside of that right leg and down towards the earth. Next inhale, reach the left hand nice and high, spreading the arms out wide. And as you exhale, cartwheel the left hand back down to the mat, spinning on your back foot, coming into a runner's lunge. Hands are to either side of the right foot. Plant your hands down and step that right foot back, three-legged down dog. Stretch it out long and shake it out a little bit. With your next exhale, slowly release that right foot to the mat, downward facing dog. Our version of our flow for this practice is very simple, but you don't have to do it if you don't want to. If you'd like to go through a little bit of a flow, with your next inhale, roll yourself forward into a plank pose and then bring your knees to a hover just above the mat, so you're in a tabletop hover. Your toes are curled under, they're stretching out the bottoms of the feet. Knees are at that hover, draw the belly button in and shoulders are above the wrists. Take one more breath. Exhale, slowly bring the knees back to the mat. And then inhale into your cow pose. Exhale, cat pose.
Inhale to center.
And exhale, child's pose. Toes touch behind you as the forehead touches the mat, sit bones to the heels.
Take about 3 rounds of breath. Last one here, repeating your affirmation, I love you, I am listening.
With your next inhale, reach the hands forward, long and strong, and then curl the toes, hoist the hips, downward facing dog. Exhale into it. Coming into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, feel nice and strong here. Maybe pedal the feet a little bit, maybe sway the hips side to side, just to create a little movement, releasing any tension you might have lifted to the surface. One more breath here. Next inhale, lift the heels up nice and high, and on those tippy toes, start to walk yourself to the top of the mat. Taking little baby steps all the way to the top until you find your forward fold, Uttanasana. Exhale into it. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Come into that halfway lift. Exhale, fold.
Keeping the belly engaged, hands hang heavy, slight bend in the knees. Inhale, slowly roll up. Rolling through the lower back, the middle back, the upper back. And then finally all the way up, reaching the chin to the sky. Inhale into your heart space. Exhale to center. Finding your passive mountain pose, finding yourself anatomically correct with all 10 toes facing forward, pressing through the feet, lifting through the crown of your head, palms turning forward and open. Maybe repeat that affirmation from Thich Nhat Hanh. Inhale, I am in my body. Exhale, I smile. Next, inhale, circle, sweep up, reach tall. As you exhale, left hand down to the left side and tilt to the left. Press through both of the feet, roll that right shoulder back slightly. Inhale, slowly come to center. Slide your left hand onto your left hip and then slide it to the small of your back. Inhale, lengthen up through the right side of the body. As you exhale, slowly come into your back bend, shining the heart up towards the sky. Inhale, slowly come to center. Reach both hands nice and high. As you exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step the right foot back behind you into your Anjaneyasana, low lunge on the left side. Keeping the right toes curled under, left knee above the left ankle. Bring your hands onto the top of that left knee and get yourself engaged. Draw the belly button in. Settle into your hips ever so slightly. Slide your left hand onto your left hip. Inhale, circle, sweep that right hand to the sky, and as you exhale, start to tilt to the left. Again, rolling that right shoulder back slightly, just to open the heart towards the sky. Inhale, come to center. Slide your left hand into the small of your back, and as you exhale, gently start to tilt yourself back into a back bend. Remember, only going so far as feels best to you, and then maybe see if you can lift the right toes off of the mat.
You don't have to lift that high. One more breath. Exhale, slowly bring the right toes to the mat. Come to center and then reach both hands nice and high. With your exhale, bring both hands to the mat to either side of the left foot. Lift the right knee off of the mat and then spin that right foot to the mat. Finding yourself in prepping for that warrior two. Making sure that the left heel lines up with the right arch. When you feel nice and strong and sturdy through the feet, inhale, cartwheel yourself up, Virabhadrasana 2. And then again, immediately check in with your foundation. So make sure you're strong through the feet. You can see your left big toe. Press through that left big toe. Press through the pinky side edge of your right foot. Strong and long through the arms, shooting life through all 10 of the fingers. One more breath. Inhale, start to reach forward, flip your left palm to the sky, and exhale, reverse your warrior. Bring your right hand behind the back for that half bind. Stay low in the lunge on that left knee and take one more breath. Next exhale, start to bring that left elbow onto the left knee, keeping that right hand in that half bind behind your back. Press actively through that left elbow and turn that right shoulder back. Roll it back. And give yourself that little challenge. Start to extend the left fingertips to the inside of that left leg. Nice. Next, inhale, reach that right hand nice and high, spreading the arms out wide. And exhale, start to find your cartwheel down towards the mat, runner's lunge. Plant your hands to either side of the left foot. Step the left foot back, three-legged down dog. Give it a shake. And then exhale it to the mat, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Taking our version of flow tonight or skipping it altogether. Next inhale, roll yourself into a plank pose. And then find your knees at that hover right above the mat. Your shoulders are over your wrists, hands are spread. Core is drawn in and thoroughly engaged. Take two more breaths. One more. Exhale, slowly release the knees to the mat. And inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale to center. And exhale, child's pose. Taking about 3 or 4 rounds of breath. Repeating your affirmation. I love you, I am listening. Reminding yourself of why you're here. Showing yourself all the love that you deserve. And listening to what you need. With your next inhale, start to make your way into your downward facing dog. And then use an exhale to settle into it. Finding your strength in your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels up nice and high. Stay on those tippy toes as you start to walk yourself to the top of the mat. As you find your Uttanasana, forward fold, exhale into it. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold. Keeping the hands nice and heavy, draw the belly button in. With your next inhale, slowly roll yourself up. Feel each vertebrae stack on top of the next as you slowly roll all the way to the sky. With that inhale, lift the chin and the heart, spread them wide. And exhale back to center. Go ahead and give yourself a shake and a wiggle, wiggling out any tension that you lifted to the surface after those first rounds. We're going to go through everything again, but we're going to add a little bit of peak postures to it. Our body's nice and ready and open to do some fun things, so we're going to give it a shot. As you come into your passive mountain pose, hands down by the sides of your body, I'd like you to find something out in front of you that you can connect to, that you can lock onto with your gaze. In yoga, this is called a dristi, a focal point. So I'd like you to find your dristi now. It could be something unmoving. It can be something that you can actually see with your physical eyes, or something that only you can see within your mind's eye. You decide. Inhale, circle, sweep up, reach tall. As you exhale, bring your right elbow into your right side, just like you're holding a tray, palm to the sky. And then bring your left hand to face the front of the room. We're coming into dancer's pose. I'd like you to press down through the left foot. Pick your right foot up and kick it behind you. Grab the inside arch of your right foot with your right hand, a 5-finger grip. Now bring your knees together. This right here might be enough for you. You might want to stay right here if this feels good. If you'd like to go a little bit further, with your next inhale, start to kick into your hand and reach with your left fingertips. Inhale, reach, and exhale, kick. Start to lift the foot behind you as you keep a hold of it. Find a 50-50 between the reach and the kick. And then stay for 2 more breaths. If you fall out, it's all good. Just come back in. You got 1 more breath still. Beautiful work. Staying connected to your dristi. Inhale, slowly start to come back to center. And exhale, release that right foot. Cartwheel the hands down by the sides of your body and feel yourself standing in mountain pose. Adjust to where you're anatomically correct. Feel nice and sturdy through your skeleton. And then shake out that left leg. Shake it, shake it. Gets a little tired. Finding that passive mountain pose again. Inhale, circle, sweep up, reach tall. As you exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant the hands, step your left foot back, finding your low lunge, that Anjaneyasana on the right side. Keeping the left toes curled under as you bring the left knee down to the mat. Bring your hands onto that right knee as soon as you're ready. Muscle memory should be turned on at this point, so you should come into it pretty quickly. Feeling yourself lock in, draw the belly button in. This time, circle sweep up both hands, reach them nice and high. As you exhale, bring the right hand down to the right side and start to tilt to the right. Maybe your right fingertips touch the earth. Maybe they don't. Maybe you want it at the hip. That's fine. Inhale, come back to center. Maybe you keep the fingertips to the mat just as a guide. And as you exhale, slowly start to tilt back into your back bend. Start to lift your left toes. Lift, lift. Lift as high as feels good as you reach the left hand back. Nice work. Inhale, slowly come to center, release the left toes of the mat. Reach the right hand nice and high. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Next, inhale, lift the left knee. Spin the left foot down onto the mat to where it's at that parallel with the back of the mat. And then inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Staying for just a breath in your Virabhadrasana 2. Next, inhale, reach forward, flip the palm. Exhale, find your reverse. Bring your left hand behind the back, half bind it. Exhale, right elbow to right knee. Keep your left hand behind you for that half bind. Again, you can choose to stay here if you'd like, or start to extend those right fingertips to the inside of the right leg. And maybe you reach under and up to make connection with your left hand for a full bind. Maybe you grab your pants or your shirt. Maybe you have a strap and you want to use that. Don't have to though. Maybe you can connect both hands. That's great too. And just stay for a breath. Nice work. Release the hands or your hands behind your back and reach both hands nice and wide. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat, runner's lunge. Spinning on that back foot. Next, inhale, step the right leg long behind you, shake it out, 3-legged down dog. And exhale, release it, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can choose to skip this or inhale, roll yourself forward, finding your hovering tabletop. Knees are just above the mat, shoulders over wrists. Take 2 breaths. 1 more. Next, exhale, slowly bring the knees to the mat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose.
Inhale to center. Exhale, child's pose, Balasana. Three big rounds of breath. Maybe you'd like them to be cleansing breaths. Big inhales, big sigh exhales. One more. And before we go further, go ahead and remind yourself of that affirmation. I love you. I am listening. Making your way into your downward facing dog, exhaling yourself into it. Taking another breath here, maybe saying, inhale, I'm in my body. Exhale, I smile. Next, inhale, lift the heels nice and high. Stand those tippy toes as you walk yourself to the top of your mat. Finding yourself into your forward fold. Exhale into it. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Hands and arms hang heavy. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale, roll up. One vertebra at a time. As you come up, big inhale opens the heart to the sky. Exhale to center. Maybe a little sway, maybe a little shake. And then we have one more side before we find ourselves down onto our mats. When you're ready, find your drishti, your focal point that's in front of you. Get yourself locked onto it. Big inhale, circle, sweep up, reach tall. As you exhale, left elbow comes into the left side, palm to the sky like you're holding that tray, and then turn your right hand towards the front of the room. Press through your right foot, inhale. Start to lift the left foot off of the mat and grab a hold of it with your left hand back behind you, grabbing that inside arch with a 5-finger grip. Bring the knees together as close as you can. Take another inhale and length. As you exhale, kick into the foot. Inhale, reach. Exhale, kick. Start to slightly tilt forward, staying connected to your drishti, your focal point. Another 2 rounds of breath. Be graceful with yourself. Never criticizing too much, knowing that we all fall sometimes. One more breath. Nice. Next inhale, slowly start to come to center. And exhale, release. Feel yourself standing on both of your feet for a moment. And then shake that right leg out. Shake it, shake it. Shake the left leg, shake the whole body. Nice work. Finding yourself into that passive mountain pose, take a big inhale and a big cleansing exhale. I love you, I am listening. Repeat it again. I love you, I am listening. Inhale, circle, sweep up, reach tall. As you exhale, swan dive forward as you hinge at your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, plant the hands, and this time step your right foot back, Anjaneyasana on the left side. Right knee touches the mat, keep the right toes curled under, and then bring your hands onto your left knee. Get yourself set up and strong into the posture first, and then inhale, circle, sweep up both of your arms. As you exhale, slowly start to tilt to the left, bringing the left hand down towards the mat on the left side of the body. Remember, it can be at the hip, that's fine too. Inhale back to center, but keep the left fingertips down or onto the hip. And as you exhale, slowly come back into your back bend and start to lift the right toes off the mat. See if you can lift them higher than you did the last time. Lift, 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 only as far as feels good. Nice work. Exhale, slowly release the toes and inhale back up to center. Reach both hands nice and high. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, either side of the left foot. Lift the right knee up, spin the right foot to the mat, parallel to the back of the mat. Prepping for that Virabhadrasana, get yourself ready, and inhale, cartwheel the arms to this, into your Virabhadrasana 2. One breath in your Warrior 2. Inhale, reach forward, flip the palm and find your reverse. Right hand behind the back, half bind. Exhale, left elbow finds left knee. Press actively through that left elbow as you keep the right hand behind the back. If you want to try that full bind on this side, start to extend the left fingertips towards the earth. And then reach up and under that left leg, reaching behind you for that right hand or grabbing hold of your clothes, whatever works best. Broaden the heart as you spin the heart to the sky. Take another big, deep breath. Next inhale, reach both hands wide. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat, runner's lunge. Next inhale, step the left leg back, three-legged down dog, give it a shake. And exhale, release into your downward facing dog. This will be the last time we go through our little flow. As always, you can skip it, or inhale, roll yourself into that plank pose and find your hovering tabletop. Strong in that hovering tabletop. Keep your gaze to the earth. 2 more breaths. 1 more. And exhale, slowly bring the knees to the mat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale to center. And exhale, child's pose. Let's take 5 long breaths here. Before going any further, repeating your affirmation once again. I love you. I am listening. With your inhale, roll yourself into your tabletop pose. Gently cross whichever ankle over the other, doesn't matter which, and then roll over the tops of those ankles, scooting yourself into the middle of your mat. Wrap your arms around the front of your knees, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze here. Maybe close your eyes and just quietly listen. Take about 5 more breaths, just listening to what your body has to say through sensation, through emotion. Unwrap your arms from around your knees, untuck your chin from your chest, flutter open your eyes, they weren't already, and slowly start to lift the feet off the mat, hovering on, or not hovering, but balancing on your sit bones. Bring your hands to the backs of your knees and start to roll yourself onto your spine. Roll up and down 3 or 4 times, massaging the entirety of your spine against the earth. When you finish those rolls, find yourself onto your back into legs up the wall, Vipriti Karani. Your legs are pointing towards the sky. Bring your hands down next to your hips, palms to the earth for stability. And then let your feet hover above your ankles, above your knees, above your hips. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck, relax your face. Maybe mess with your ankles or your toes. Do circles with your ankles going both directions. Maybe point the toes, flex the toes, wiggle the toes. Vipriti Karani is really great for your lower back, for slowing down your heart rate and giving your heart a big giant rest. Maybe close your eyes and notice what you feel in this position. Your legs don't have to be completely straight. Your knees can be kind of bent, whatever feels best to you. Just about 3 more rounds of breath of just noticing what Vipriti Karani brings to us. Nice work. Keeping your hands next to your hips, we're going to counter out those back bends with a nice little plow pose. So when you're ready, press into your hands and start to lift the feet up and over the head. If doing this posture does not feel good to you, stay in legs up the wall, perfect variation. Otherwise, drop the toes behind your head. Keep your chin centered, do not turn it. You can use your hands at the small of your back for a little bit of support. Or if you'd like, you can go a little bit deeper, rolling onto the shoulders and interlacing your fingers, pressing the pinkies into the earth. Let's stay for about 5 breaths. Last 2. After that final breath, if you'd like, bring your hands to the small of your back and slowly start to roll yourself back down. Going as slow as feels good to you, coming back into legs up the wall. Keeping your hands next to your hips if they aren't already. Just as slow as we came out of our plow pose, our halasana, I'd like you to slowly start to lower the legs to the mat. Do this with several rounds of breath. See if you can do this and keep your shoulders relaxed. See if you can do this and keep your face nice and soft. As your feet touch down to the mat, keep your hands by the sides of your body. Keep your hands right next to your hips. Lift your head up just to make sure that you're straight on your mat. Bring the head back down onto the earth. Roll off of your right hip and slide your right hand underneath your right glute. And then do the same thing with your left. Lift your left glute off the mat, slide your left hand underneath your glute. Your thumbs are really close together, palms of the hands onto the mat. Now point the toes, press up onto your elbows, take a look at your toes. We're coming into fish pose. Take a big inhale, press your heart to the sky, and as you exhale, drop the chin back. Feeling open all the way through the front of your body. Point the toes. Take another breath. Nice work. Bring your chin in towards your chest and slowly roll off of your elbows. Bring your hands out from underneath you. Pump the fists a few times. Wiggle the fingers a few times. And then separate your feet out as wide as your mat. Separate your arms out. Finding yourself into a Shavasana, our final pose of the practice. As you come into your Shavasana, close your eyes, soften your face, soften your fingers, your toes. And repeat that affirmation one last time. I love you. I'm listening. Smile at all the love that you created. Smile at all the information you were able to hear from your body tonight, today, this moment. Give yourself time in this Shavasana to let your body soak up everything we did. Give yourself time in this Shavasana to really be present. Notice all the love and all the knowledge that you created during this time. You can choose to stay in this Shavasana as long as you'd like. Or if you're ready to come out, start to wiggle your fingers, start to wiggle your toes, gently waking yourself up out of this gentle slumber. As you feel ready, roll onto your favorite side, right or left, doesn't matter. And then slowly press yourself all the way into a seated pose, right where we began our practice. Letting the eyes close if you found them to be open. Coming back into that state of being a witness, noticing all the things about yourself. Noticing how you feel, your mood, your energy level. And remind yourself, I love you. I'm listening. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your chin into your chest. I'd like to seal our practice in with one final Om. If you'd like to join me, please do. Taking a nice big inhale to prepare. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. From my heart to yours. Namaste.